Resilience, is it a trait or a symphony you conduct? In simple words, are you born resilient or made resilient? Resilience is the ability to adapt favorably to change. Change is a shift in status quo. It happens all the time. Supposing I take a ball and compress, it can take three shapes. It can stay compressed, it can relax, or it can take a new shape. We are all trained to believe that resilience is bouncing back, but it's not about bouncing back. Resilience is the ability to adapt what is favorable. So is this a trait, something you're born with, something you cannot change, or is it something you can change and you become the master of ceremony? So this is a magician's hat. So when you're wearing a thinking hat, you don't enjoy a magician work. So this is a magician's hat. So what is life without a little bit of fun? So we celebrate life all the time. A few years ago, we had a ceremony in which a magician was conducting some events. So he was making things disappear. He was making a pen disappear, a coin disappear, and a lot of things were disappearing. I told him I can do one better. And I told him I can make the whole audience disappear. So what I did, I said, I'll play the guitar and sing. But fortunately, nobody left and they even clapped. Probably it was an act of charity. I wish I could wave this like a magic wand and make everybody resilient. So what you see is a set of musical notes. So how do you create symphony? So when you do nothing about it, this remains noise, or at best we can call it noise genre. But we can arrange them in a particular pattern, we can create what is called music. So when we sing together, we create what is called a rhapsody. But when we add more elements, more movements, we create what is called a symphony. Let's see what the symphony we create. So this is our passion, this is our love, this is our work, this is a key picture. On top, you see a child thrown into a dustbin. And in the bottom, you see a child on a victory stand, standing on the podium. This is a true story of from dustbin to glory. Right now, we have a child. The child is about 60 days old. The child is completely blind. There is a mother. The mother of the child is only 14 years old. She is also completely blind. We do not know the culprit as yet. So at any point of time, we have about 25 such orphaned, abandoned, and surrendered children. And these children, when we find them, they would have been poisoned. They are thrown into dustbin. They are found in toilets, and they are fighting for survival. So when we bring them and give them life. This is called right to life. We treat them and make them survive. This is called right to life. No child should grow up in an orphanage. Every child should grow up in a loving family. So we do what is called Home for Every Child program, and every child is placed in a loving family. And such work, we are not created one, we are not created two, we are not created three. We have built thousands of such happy families, and that's what you're doing. So I told you we have an amazing part, we have a fascinating part, and an intriguing part. Let's start with an amazing part. You see an image of a child getting an infusion. This I call my first dose of resilience. How many of you won lottery? How many of you won more than one lottery? How many of you won more than 3 lotteries? No, not possible, right? But that I'm born and I'm standing in front of you is a 1 in 400 trillion opportunity. It is 1 in 400 trillion, such a rare opportunity. But when I was born, I was sick. My parents thought I won't make it, but I survived. My parents always told me I was a survivor. So there are three key takeaways in this. Number one, that I survived because inherently I was resilient. And number two, I was given care. And number three, my parents told me that I was resilient. So these repeated words that you were a survivor was the first dose of infusion I got as resilience. When I stand in front of the mirror, I ask myself, who am I? So I'm made up of atoms, carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, and nitrogen. And where have these atoms come from? They have come from exploding superstars. So you are a reconstituted star. And you have a 1 in 400 trillion chance of coming and standing here and talking to people. So if this is not going to make you feel resilient, what else will? This is my first patient. I'm not a veterinary doctor, I'm a surgeon. When I was young, I kept a lot of racing pigeons. These racing pigeons, when they fly very fast. So one of the pigeons, they flew into a fence and got this anterior chest torn, completely open. The organs started coming out. So my mother gave me a sewing needle, a cotton thread, and some turmeric paste. I sutured it, and the bird started flying again. And this taught me two lessons, that if I gave care, I could build resilience. And number two, if I can do this, I can do it better by becoming a doctor and a surgeon. So this is a helicopter. As a young child, you were interested in bang, 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 and flying. And when you looked at these flying machines, you always wondered whether you'll be there one day there. So I joined the army. I was involved in two major operations. I joined the army for excitement, but reality struck then. I saw death and destruction. I saw children being orphaned and abandoned. Then I decided I have to do more. This was not the place for me. So I left the army and I joined an organization which was taking care of orphaned, abandoned, and surrendered children. But that organization, that particular time, was a sinking ship. So my friends told me, why would you go and waste your life there? But I went there, I repaired that ship, and I set that ship sailing. So this image, on top you see a well, and below you see a garden. So the well is our hospital, our sailing ship that waters our garden, and the garden is our children, all orphaned, abandoned, and surrendered. So to strengthen your resilient systems, you have to add something more to survive. So we have an extensive burn survivor unit and a skin bank. The skin bank is one of the rare skin banks in the country. We have only about 10 or 15 skin banks in the country. We also have a milk bank for children who need care and protection, who do not have the mothers, and a lot of mothers donate milk for them. So there are a number of success stories globally. I'll tell you one story. So there is a condition called phocomelia where you do not have the limbs. We had a very young newborn with no limbs, no hands, no legs, a little rudimentary pieces hanging. She wouldn't be adopted for a long time. She was very intelligent. She would roll, she'll communicate with you. Then she got adopted by a loving family, and I got a news recently that she met with an accident and fractured her little leg. So on the one side, you're sad that she met with an accident. On the other side, you're happy that with that limbs, she was able to ride a horse and meet with an accident. So these are the children who are real beacons of resilience we see. So now we come to the fascinating part. You see, one tool, ancient tool, a fire, and a fractured long bone. Man has been around for about 200,000 years, and modern man has been around for about 40,000 years. So of all the three images, what is considered the first sign of resilience and civilization? It is not the tool, it's not the fire, it is the fractured long bone which has healed. Why? Because even today you meet with an accident, either you die or you're out for 2 months. Those days, as a hunter-gatherer, somebody has given him life, somebody has taken care of him, somebody has protected him from predators, and he has survived. So why did that person survive with a fracture? So as we were evolving, our brain developed. We have about 200 billion neurons in the brain. And some part of the brain was developing what is called compassion. So this compassion became a huge survival advantage for us. So this shows a double helix, a DNA with genes. Are we from monkeys? No, not really. We got separated from monkeys about 7 million years ago. So now today you take my genes and a gene of a Chinese person, an African and an European, you just divide them and they are the same 99+%, all your genes are the same, whether you're an Indian and an African and an European. And when you compare it with our cousins, the apes and chimpanzees, it is 98% similar. There is only about 1 or 1.2% difference between us and the chimpanzees. So this 1.2% gives us a huge survival advantage. We have become more intelligent. We have become so intelligent that we are trying to go to Mars. We are trying to colonize Mars. We are trying to be the first interplanetary species. And if we do it, that will be an ultimate feat of resilience. So this is about the dose hormones. So as we evolve, we also developed a set of hormones. One set of hormones gives you happiness, and other set is for survival. These hormones, if you use them effectively, they build your resilience. We have how to build your resilience these with hormones. D is dopamine. Dopamine you get when you complete a good task. Oxytocin you get when you hug somebody. Serotonin you get when you go out and take a run. And endorphins you get when you listen to music, or you share a joke, or you laugh. And you also have these stress hormones. They help you in conditions of extreme stress. So now, the intriguing part. Intriguing part is that in spite of our intelligence, in spite of our evolution, we have created a plethora of problems. These problems, unless we fix, we may even become extinct. I'm just going to talk about one particular problem. This is about human trafficking. We have a lot of illegal trades in the world: arms trafficking, drugs trafficking, and human trafficking. And 50% of the trafficked persons are children. They are abused, they are sold, they are sexually exploited, they are resold, and eventually they die. So we are not doing much about it. We are part of this safety net where we protect children and we give them care and protection and place them in families through our Operation Home for Every Child. But what we are doing is not enough. We have to come together and do a lot more. So this is an image of stability. So let's wrap up. So the 3 key takeaways. Number 1, we are born resilient, and trait is something you're born with. Number 2, everything changes constantly. And number 3, if you have the ability to adapt to change, you survive and thrive. Otherwise, you perish. So how shall we make a start? Do a deed of simple kindness. It will spread like widening ripples and reach everywhere.